Alright guys, back out to do a little bit of an update after the last video. I did quite a bit of rewiring like I said I was going to do on here, and I went ahead and made a plate to mount this. So you can see I've got a real nice stainless steel plate there. I was going to paint it, but for now I'm just going to leave it like that because it is stainless steel. It's not going to rust or anything. So pretty much I just used a little bit longer Allen heads, probably a couple millimeter longer Allen heads to go in the bottom, because the key actually connects here and here, and I went ahead and made a bracket and just used that same mounting spot. And you can see back here that I used the exact same mounting pattern that bolts into the back of here. I used the cushions. Let me turn the light on here. I used the cushions off there so it won't vibrate. Just like the stock one, I cut it all out for the wires down here, and it fits really well, and it fits perfect. So, and that's about exactly where I wanted the gauges. I kind of wanted them a bit lower, but I'm kind of liking that look where it's a little bit tilted there, so I'll be able to read it when I'm riding without having to look forward or kind of stand up on the bike and look at it, so it won't be bad at all. Pretty much what I did, which most of you know that make any kind of custom parts, you make everything out of cardboard or paper first, whatever you got. So pretty much that's the exact bracket I made there. Of course the other one's been rounded off on the edges and it's all been smoothed out and cleaned up, but pretty much I just found my two mounting holes that mount to that on the key switch, which fit right over it because it's square down here, and that's pretty much the cutout for the wires, and that's the exact mounting spot for the bracket on the back. These Trail Tech gauges come with a really nice piece of paper in the book that you can cut out and actually make the brackets, but I really didn't need it because I just went ahead and pretty much found out exactly where I wanted it, and just put this on there and pretty much traced it and drilled the exact diameter holes here and here. That way everything fits snugly. This is a tight fit on the bars there, so there's no room there. These are, tightened in so it doesn't move at all. And then this fits perfect. And the reason I did that, the exact diameter, so those bushings that fit through here originally would fit in there perfectly. So pretty much that's what I did. And really, my drill press came in extreme handy for this because it made really precise holes on there, and pretty much straight up and down, rather than trying to hold a drill and keeping it straight. It's pretty difficult to do that a lot of times. So pretty much I went through and rewired everything. I still got a little bit of covering up to do because you can still see some of the red wires. I just wanted to make sure everything worked. My tack wasn't working from when I had first hooked it up, and that's because there was a resistor in the line for the SV650, which is the kit I got for an SV650. So they put a resistor in the line to help with that, and it works fine on the SV650, which is a 2-cylinder bike. This one, being a 4-cylinder, apparently doesn't need the resistor. So now my RPMs and stuff are perfect in it. Now, a lot of videos I've seen, people's are jumping, like if you're just sitting here idling, the RPMs are going like this on your graph. I mean, it's not doing that on the bike, but your graph is reading like that, whereas mine reads perfect, whereas you rev it, it goes up and slowly drops, and it reads really well. I did get it all back together and found out I had a problem with my speedometer. It wasn't working at all and wasn't reading. So this clip is the original clip here. This is just one end of it here, but it had broken off, and it really wasn't a big deal, but it wouldn't hold together, and somewhere in there a connection got messed up. If I can get the thing to focus, not that you're going to really see anything anyway. It couldn't, the connection in there wasn't good pretty much, so pretty much I just spliced it on both sides and reconnected it with my own connectors. You can see here, those are really small wires, so you have to find some of the right diameter wire. You don't want to use anything different. And I'm not real sure what gauge this is, but pretty much I found some of the exact diameter wire. These are out of an Ethernet cable, which, as far as phone lines and Ethernet, they're really small gauge, and it ended up being the exact gauge of wire I needed for it. and it works perfect now. So pretty much I remounted it down here with some 3M adhesive tape, and it's on there really strong now. And then of course I got my magnet that's on there, so it works really well now. I don't think I'll have any problems out of that. So other than that, I've still got my clutch plates soaking, and I had a friend come over, and I really hadn't looked at them whenever I took them out, but he was kind of looking at them, and we've seen one here, as you can see right here, some of the disc materials not quite on there. Hopefully I'm not going to have a problem with that. I'm a little iffy on even putting them in now. I may just call this a loss. These are about a $40 kit plus shipping. I may end up calling it a loss and seeing about getting a better clutch kit, you know, like an EBC clutch kit or something like that. And really, now that I'm looking at them, you can see all over that there's just little imperfections with them. Like on this one, you can see some of the clutch materials up on this part right here, and it's not supposed to be like that. See how that's all clean, that's clean, and I don't know what their manufacturing process is, but apparently it's not very quality controlled. I may send the seller a picture and see what he says, but if it ends up not being a problem, I'll run them. But I'm really worried about that just completely deteriorating, these clutches not lasting, these clutch plates not lasting very long at all. So if anybody's got any idea about that, leave a comment. But I may still try to run them. I just don't want to mess it up. I mean, this clutch material, really, if it came off, I don't think it would be too big a deal, because of course this does wear over time, and you'll see the particles in your oil, which are small enough they don't hurt. But I'm going to go ahead and send the seller a picture and see what he says, and see if anything can be done about this, because this clutch kit's obviously, if it's that's going to be a problem, the whole kit's probably a total loss. So hopefully, you know, me already soaking in oil isn't a big deal, because if it is, I'll just take them out and dry them off. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I just don't want to take a chance with these clutch plates. I didn't realize that they were such a cheap, you know, cheap brand. I figured, you know, 40 bucks for a clutch kit, that's pretty good, because this is just the plates. You're not getting the springs, you're not getting the what do they call them, the plates that go in between them that aren't actually the disc material. They've actually just got metal plates. So other than that, so I may try to get those done. And I've got some new decals for the back of these shocks, so you can see they look pretty good on there. KYB gas shocks decals, because there was nothing on them when I got them, so that looks pretty good. Other than that, I'm probably going to go for a ride today, and I'll probably video that and maybe add it on to the end, or make it its own video. So thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. You know, I don't get a lot of comments or really a lot of viewers, but the few I do get, I appreciate it, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed this.